Hello everybody, Nikki here, and today I want to take you through what you can do to move your team and your business from juggle street to peak performance. Juggle street is that place where you are juggling all the balls, you are all things to all people, and you're putting fires out everywhere. And even though you have a team, the business success and outcomes and results are so reliant on you being in the business. Now, first of all, I want to acknowledge you because you have a team in place, which means you understand the importance of having the right people around you to build and grow your team to the next level. The thing is that a lot of business owners, they don't realize or take the time to think about it's not just having the team. There's certain aspects that you need to implement in order to make sure that that team is thriving. You know, putting them in place or having people in different roles is just the first step. It's what you do next that matters the most. It's what you do next that gives you the flexibility, freedom, confidence, and certainty to be able to step back from your business. It's not just having people in roles and teams in places in and of itself. Now, also when I talk about teams, that could be outsourced teams, that could be virtual teams, that could be full-time in the office teams. In 2022, there's lots of different variations of what it looks like to have a team help you achieve results in business. And what I want to take you through today is the fundamentals, the three things for you to be able to consider and look at when you are wanting to strive for peak performance. So we've got a little model here, and in the center, I'm going to place peak performance. This is the goal. This is the dream. When you have a peak performing team, in other words, a high performing team, it means that they are autonomous, they're kicking goals, even when you're not in the business. And something that you have to really embrace as the business owner is that in order to achieve peak performance, you have to embrace business leadership. So leadership is a term that is often related to in corporate. You know, we think about leadership and automatically our mind often goes to corporate. But business leadership is a very real and very important aspect of making sure that you have a high performing team. And this whole outer circle here is the business leadership. That's the key. It is surrounding everything that I'm going to take you through, which in the end results in peak performance. So let's dive in. Culture. Culture is really important in terms of creating a peak performing team. We need to understand what the operating rhythms are in your business, and we need to look at the skills. So culture is all about the environment that you're creating. Your environment impacts culture. Now, culture is, do people enjoy coming to work? Do people, whether it's a work from home or it's in an office or it's on site with clients, is it actually an environment that's enjoyable, that allows people to step into their zone of genius and be the best that they can be? Is it a work hard, play hard? Is it about having lightness? Is it like, it doesn't matter. It's about what specifically that looks like, but are you clear on what you want that to be? And how does that align with peak performance? Do people enjoy, feel valued? Are they clear on the vision? And do they have meaning in their work? There's just a couple of little clues in there around the environment you're creating for culture. In terms of operations or operating rhythms, it's about understanding what are the structures and what are the systems that you have in place, and that creates your operating rhythms. So examples of structure, really high level, could be regular weekly team meetings, monthly wrap-ups with the whole team to talk about what were our successes last month and what are our goals moving forward for the next month. Are there systems and guides and manuals around processes to do certain tasks? Are your team, each individual, really clear on what the expectation of their roles are? So when you have got structure in place, that helps create a consistent environment and culture. And when we look at skills, this is all about the people. Do you have coaching, training, upskilling? How are you upskilling your people? This isn't just a one-off tick and flick. This is a consistent focus and approach to make sure that they can step into their expectations that you have on them. And the E, the environment, the S for the instructor, the P for people, it's all about this ESP. Ness and I talk about having ESP, which is like a sixth sense in the business. The problem is that we have to have this sixth sense as a leader or a manager or a business owner. We're always guessing or mind reading what's happening in the team. But if you have this structure in place, if you've got the right people who have the right skills, if you've got the systems and structure and expectations, therefore the operating rhythms, that then leads to a high performing culture. You don't need to have sixth sense. ESP is taken care for you. You can have confidence, you can have certainty when you're stepping back that everything is going to be taken care of to your standard, to your expectation. So this is the model that we take our clients through to make sure that their teams have the right skills, support, structure, and the culture, which therefore leads to peak performance. What I'd love for you to do today, I want you to walk away with an actionable step that you can do, is I want you to think about what are all the balls that you have in the air at the moment. So we talked about at the beginning that this whole juggling all the balls, you're on juggle street because there's just too much happening. And here's your exercise. I want you to grab a piece of pen and a paper or some technology, however you do it, and I want you to write down a list of all the balls, all the tasks, all the priorities. You can put circles around them if you want to have a visual, but it's all the things that are on your mind and in your focus at the moment. Then you need to look at that strategically to go, okay, well, which of these priorities or balls in the air are actually not that important? You might be able to delete some. You can go, actually, this has been on my list so long, I don't even need to do it anymore. Sometimes we get caught in keeping things as a priority just because maybe it's a comfort zone, but it's not the most important thing to move the dial to your goals and your vision. So look at what can I delete? And I'm actually literally going to delete it from here. All of a sudden I have less balls or priorities to focus on. Then you can start to look at, well, let's look at what I've got left. What do I still have here in terms of priorities? And how important are they? So there's this really great concept a mentor of ours, Mel Brown, shared, and I absolutely love it. She talks about some of the balls that we're juggling are made of glass and some of them are made of rubber. What happens if you drop a ball that's made of glass? It's going to smash, it's broken, it's done. What happens if you drop a ball that's made of rubber? It just bounces back. It'll probably keep bouncing until you've got a free hand that you can put out and grab it again. So this is a part of that. Which of these balls are actually really important glass balls? And you might actually go, okay, well, these are non-negotiable, really important balls. So you've got your list. You're going to cross out the ones that you can delete. You're going to circle the ones that are really important priorities, because the other ones you can actually defer. And some of you may have heard of this: defer, delete, delegate, do. So we've deleted some, we're deferring the rubber balls because they're not the most important priority now. We might then want to do or delegate those that we prioritize as being really important. They're the glass balls. And then I want you to think about, if you want to draw this circle or you can just code it somehow, but think about, where do these balls that are really important fall? And even your defer ones. Do they fall into the world of creating a great culture? Do they fall into the world of creating operating rhythms, regular meetings, systems, processes? Do they fall into the world or the realm or the bucket of upskilling your people? And you might actually find that you're juggling all these balls, but none of them are related to this peak performance model. And that's showing you a really big gap and an area to focus on. Or you might actually find that you are doing some work in these areas. And this is not about creating more guilt for what you're not doing, because a lot of business owners feel guilt that they're not spending more time with their people. It's about actually just taking a really good, pragmatic, hand-on-heart look at where you're spending your time. And you will definitely have balls that are outside of the peak performance area. Sales and business growth, profitability, all those other areas, business planning. But you just have to make sure that there's some focus on peak performance. Because when you do, all of these delegate balls, or a lot of these do balls, are actually going to be taken care of. And you won't be on Juggle Street anymore. Ness and I are totally obsessed with this work. Of course, we love helping you understand and then implement this into your business to create transformation. So please let us know how you go. And If you're feeling like, whoa, I'm actually a little bit even more overwhelmed, or I'm not sure where to start, we offer a 20-minute clarity call where we will help you get clarity on whatever part of the business you need the most. And if it's this area, jump on a call with us and we will help you get the clarity that you need. If there's no big red button to book, just send us a DM or an email. Have fun with this. Enjoy the process. Talk to you soon.